Muzuela Chwani. Good evening, Zambia. Today we are going to talk about a very important and interesting topic because we recently saw some amazing news with regards to Faith Musonda and the 64 million kwacha. So there has been a lot of speculations and rumors, and the only thing that I can say is everybody is innocent until proven guilty. So at this particular moment, we have to let the relevant authorities do what they have to do in order for them to sort of come to the bottom of the whole entire matter, and then once we get the clarified information, then we can be able to speculate further. So in today's episode, I am going to be talking about slay queens, cadres, and the fundamentals of money laundering, because a lot of people have been trying to find out what exactly is money laundering and how is it done. What role did the PF slay queens and cadres play with regards to money laundering? Because a lot of things were happening in the past 10 years, especially during the tenure of the PF government. So basically we're going to use this particular situation to sort of get to understand basically what was happening. So this doesn't really concern Faith Musonda and all the concerned parties. So this is basically an education segment based on the recent happenings, because what is happening is just the tip of the iceberg, and there is a whole lot more. And now that the Pandora's box has been opened, we need to dissect everything and just make this a teachable moment for the Zambian population to get to understand what is happening. So before I jump into this particular episode, I am kindly asking you to share this video in all the relevant groups that you have, because we're going to be talking about a whole lot of different exciting stuff. So right now, share this on your timeline, send it to some other groups as well, because it's really going to get exciting around this particular end, if I can put it that way. So anyhow, my name is Muna, and welcome to Z Corner. Z Corner is the leading voice for the Zambian youths, and this episode is obviously brought to you by auto.techabantu, auto.zcorner.com, where you can get to buy, where you can get to find new and used cars in Zambia. So if you are looking to sell your car, or if you're looking forward to buying a car, just go to auto.zcorner.com. So without further ado, let's jump into the fundamentals of money laundering. So basically, money laundering is the cleaning of money, the cleansing of money, because sometimes money can be obtained using several methods. All right, so mostly people conduct money laundering because they want to get rid of certain problems attached to that particular amount of money. Like recently we saw a very popular person from the Copper Belt. He's in the entertainment industry, right? I'm not going to mention any names, but he's a very well-known figure in the entertainment industry. So this guy has been dealing with drugs. He's been selling cannabis, ichamba, codeine, and all that stuff. But he's got a front. He's got a business on the side that acts as a front. So in this particular episode, I want you to understand a few terms. I want you to understand what a front is, and who Smurfs are. Okay, a Smurf, yeah, or a minion, if I can put it that way. So during the tenure of the Patriotic Front government, right, we had fronts and minions, aka amakadas, because these cadres were able to do dirty job. They were able to harass Vanamaketi people on the streets and basically collect all this different revenue and then send it to the relevant authorities. So these people were able to sort of siphon money from the public and basically be able to collect it and take it somewhere else. So these cadres that we were seeing were obviously playing a major role. And once they collected this amount of money, right, they were taking it to somebody who's obviously higher. So this is one of the reasons why we even saw people like Innocent Kalimanshi attain a lot of popularity, because Innocent Kalimanshi was an asset to the cadre fraternity, because he was able to collect a lot of revenue and that stuff. So this is one of the reasons why we saw a lot of different thugs be protected, if you can put it that way, because a lot of you were wondering, saying, "Uyu muntu afuma kwezo," and why is he so relevant, he's becoming so popular, and nothing basically happens to him because he was obviously protected by the higher powers, because he was playing a key role with regards to raising and organizing funds. He was able to like sort of use a lot of different hooligans in the community and be able to like collect this revenue. Then this revenue was bundled up and given to other people as well. So as you can see, he was playing a role, and a lot of thugs were able to like create their own organization, kuka nyama kwari, tuma groups and all that stuff, because these people were being protected by the hierarchy, because they were adding value to the chain. So when the government, or rather when the hierarchy or the fraternity gets to use these smaller people, right, who were acting as minions, or rather smurfs, right, they were able to like collect money from the community. These people were remitting this amount of money to this particular chain, if you know what I mean. So what usually happens is when all this money within Zambia is collected, and by the way, the Cadres were making a whole lot of money, and just like I told you in my previous live stream, right, on average, Cadres were making more than 6 million, between 6 million US dollars, not kwacha, between 6 million US dollars to about, I don't know, 15 million US dollars per province. Okay, so this amount of money which is being reported allegedly, and I'm going to use the word allegedly because this is like an ongoing case, and we don't really want to like talk about these things because these are intricate details. But according to the reports that we are getting, right, the alleged money which is being talked about with regards to Faith Musonda, because like her name has come up, so we obviously have to like pinpoint that, right? We are talking about 65 million US dollars plus 57. Of course, there's like there could be more money or there could be less money, but one thing that you have to know is that this particular amount of money is just half of one provincial collection with regards to what the job of the Cadres were having. So this is basically just like a fraction, like half of 1 month worth of revenue collections from the Cadres. Okay, so this is like literally not a lot of money to these people. They can easily make this amount of money in less than a month. Okay, so you have to also remember that each particular province had Cadres who were collecting money and just basically being able to like amass a lot of wealth. So this money was obviously going somewhere, so they needed to find a way in order for them to like clean it, because usually when you are trying to launder money, right, you have to have a legit source of business, and you have to have like a paper trail of where the money is coming from. So the problem that these people are obviously facing, and let's face it right now, at this particular moment, Impia ishingi omoshiri mu Zambia, bambi bari shika, bambi bari vika panshi. A lot of people are hoarding a lot of money because they can't really account for that money, because that money was obtained in dubious methods. Okay, but this time around it's going to be hard, or rather they are looking for ways to sort of get to clean that money, saying okay, ngakwaisa about police over ACC, over FIC, we're going to be able to say, okay, I was able to like raise this amount of money because I'm running this particular business and this is where the money is coming from. So at this particular moment, this is the problem, the dilemma, that these people who were benefiting from the money that was being collected by the Cadres were, harassing marketeers. They were harassing a lot of people, and all that money, instead of going to ZRA, it was going to these people. Okay, so as you can see, the hierarchy has got like a chain, and it is eventually leading up to the people who were obviously getting to sort of hoard that amount of money. So the biggest problem that these people had was to clean that money. Of course, you can get to steal money, you can get to sort of obtain money by selling drugs or doing some illegal stuff, right? But obviously, in order for you to safely spend it, you need to show your books. You need to sort of disclose the origin of that particular amount of money, and this is the hardest part. So this is one of the reasons why I'm saying it's very easy to amass a lot of wealth by using backdoor ways, but it's going to be very hard for you to sort of account for this amount of money, because the books are obviously going to be very hard for you to sort of fix and just manipulate, if I can put it that way. So if you look at the roles of the Cadres right now, let's also talk about the roles of the Slave Queen. What role was the Slave Queen playing during this particular process, because at this particular moment you understand where the cadres were able to get money, right? The cadres were able to get money from regular individuals, the marketeers, people who were doing businesses. They were harassing them and collecting that amount of money. Then it goes up the chain. So what role were slave queens playing? The slave queens were most likely being fronts. This is one of the reasons, if you go to most shopping malls in Zambia, there are businesses which are acting as fronts. They are paying a whole lot of rent for these particular businesses, but these shops are obviously doing very well because those particular shops are acting as fronts so that they can add money and make it seem as if it's legit. But impia shide fuma kumbi mwaishwa so nganamkwataka shop up so, right? And you are running an illegal business, right? You have to sort of connect that particular shop or business that you're doing to the money that you are collecting, so that you can increase or infiltrate the books of that particular business, so that that particular business can seem to be sort of making you profit, but in actual reality the money is actually coming from other ways. So if you go to most shopping malls in Zambia, right, you're obviously going to find a lot of businesses run by slave queens. I mean, no disrespect to all the people who are running these businesses, but yeah, most of them, they are obviously running a lot of businesses that really involve exchanging of cash. And this is one of the reasons why people who launder money, right, they love starting businesses that are cash heavy, that really depend on cash, things like casinos. This is one of the reasons why you've seen a lot of casinos pop up in Zambia, because casinos usually deal with money, and it's very easy to sort of clean money which is laundered using the casinos, because you can be able to say we made so and so amount of money. So yeah, these are the types of businesses that these particular people were using. So anyhow, let's talk about the reasons why the business, obviously, when it comes to organized crime. And by the way, when you talk about money laundering, it is organized crime. There are two types of crime, all right? There is, unorganized, and there is organized crime. And by the way, money laundering is a multi-billion-dollar industry. A lot of different, industries, or rather businesses, or rather huge corporations are involved in money laundering, even insurance companies, banking companies, and all that stuff. So money laundering is a multi-billion-dollar type of industry. So what usually happens is people need to clean the dirty money, right? This money which they can't really account for. This money is the money which they can't really say, okay, I have so and so type of business, this is the amount of money that we're getting, okay? And they also need to hide the origins of the dirty money, okay? Because if you can't really show where the money is coming from, if you can't really account for it, right, then you're going to be nabbed, and they're going to say, so the reason why people do money laundering is in order for them to hide the origins of the money, and in order for them to clean the dirty money, so that they can be able to spend that particular amount of money, because people are going to be raising eyebrows. All of a sudden, you're going to be like, boys, if I'm not able to show you, look, I was doing so and so business, I was able to earn this amount of money and all that stuff, you guys are going to be saying, obviously Musa Tanis, now he's doing some crime. So this is one of the reasons why money laundering happens. And the slave queens, aka the cadres, were playing a major role with regards to the process of money laundering. The slave queens have probably got a lot of businesses, so this is one of the reasons why a lot of these able people were able to have different slave queens with my girlfriend, so that they can give them a business, so that they can be able to use them to make the money clean. So if you see politicians, I'm not really going to name any names, and all these men of influence having with my girlfriend, you're doing it's actually a business. The politicians are actually making way much more money than the slave queens, okay? Because those particular slave queens are going to be empowered with businesses. They're going to be running with my businesses to affect, so that that money can be clean, so that that money can go to the books. Okay, now let's also talk about the steps that are important when it comes to money laundering. So first of all, you have to conceal the ownership and the source of the money. Now, this is a very important step. So this is one of the reasons, if you read some statements, right, these particular people who are involved in money laundering, a lot of them are saying me and my partners. Okay, a lot of them are saying me and my partners. Okay, so meaning there is somebody who is attached to that particular amount of money, but these people are sort of obscure. These particular people are not very known. So if you look at all these things, right, you can see that, okay, there's a lot of things going on. So one of the most important steps of money laundering is obviously getting to conceal the ownership and the source of money. So let's say, for example, you've got, I don't know, 75 million US dollars, right? How are you going to be able to, quickly make it legal? You have to do a business that really produces a lot of return on investment, such as emeralds, because emeralds, gonna got the 1 kilogram of emerald, right? Or 2 kilograms of emeralds. Those are like a lot of carrots, and you can really make a lot of money by just having like a little bit of emeralds. So this is one of the reasons why they have to get into businesses that really produce a higher return on investment using very little bit amount of efforts. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why you're going to be using, let's say, for example, hypothetically speaking, an emerald company, because you can say ninkwata 2 kg of emeralds bagamba na this shop. This is one of the reasons why I have this and that amount of money. So if you are running a business that really sort of earns, I don't know, 1,000 kwacha per day, right? What the 3 million US dollars, you're going to spend years and years trying to make this illegal money or this dirty money into clean amount of money. So this is one of the reasons why you have to go into a business that can really allow you to, clean a lot of money using very little amount of effort and very little amount of time, and jumping into mineral resources, saying now this is a gold, or now this is shama emeralds, or now this is shama diamond. It really cleans up money very fast, because these people really need to get that money like pretty fast, and everything has to be done in due time. So this is one of the reasons why having to do a business that really involves heavy amount of return on investment, because so things like emeralds really bring money in very fast. So it's very easy to clean up the money. Okay, so now let's look at the second step with regards to money laundering. You have to change the money's form. Okay, you have to kind of rinse and make sure the money is dry. Let's say, for example, if you laundered money in kwacha, you need to have dollars, you need to have euros, you need to sort of make sure that you change the form of the money, because it's going to be very hard for people to trace it, if you know what I mean. So the third step is having an obscuring the financial trail. So when you're trying to launder money, right, you have to use a mixer, if you know what I mean. You have to use different financial trails and then mix up everything, so that it's going to be very hard to trace the transactions. So this is one of the reasons why a lot of people usually use shell companies. To all the people who were alive during the tenure of Chuluba, right, we heard him having bank accounts in a lot of different countries that had offshore accounts and shell companies, so that like that he was able to mix the financial trail, and you couldn't really get to track the transactions and basically be able to find the trail of these financial transactions. So it's very important to have an account in a shell company or in countries that really have less strict rules. And this is one of the reasons why in Zambia, if you start all of a sudden start pumping a lot of money in your account, right, Barclays Bank is going to be like, hey, wait a minute, where is this money coming from? Okay, so if you start putting money into your account which is above a particular threshold, the people are going to be alerted. People are going to be on your back. So this is one of the reasons why you need to have an offshore account in a country that doesn't really have a lot of strict rules. So if you look at the fourth step with regards to money laundering, right, you have to obviously complete the control with regards to the process and the people to prevent finding the scheme. You have to erase all your steps. Okay, because money laundering starts from an illegal perspective. Either a cadre gets it illegally, or you're selling drugs, or you're doing some other, despicable things. So by the end, you have to have like a clean record. Okay, you have to have a clean paper trail with regards to your money. So this whole entire step is known as money cleansing and basically money laundering. So this is one of the reasons why this particular case is going to be a very important case with regards to Faith Musonda, because it is indeed opening the Pandora's box. So there's going to be a lot of businesses which are obviously going to be unearthed and singled out, because these particular businesses are appearing as fronts. So at this particular moment, right, we have to wonder, if you look at most of the buildings, especially in Lusaka and all over Zambia, in order for us to get to, catch the culprits, we have to be able to be we have to start auditing and finding out who owns property and how was this amount of money obtained. Let's say, for example, you've got a nice mansion and it's worth 5 million US dollars, and your business or your job is only able to earn you $50,000 annually. So what the SEC needs to do at this particular moment is they need to start auditing a lot of property, because property can also be used to launder money. So if those people who own these particular properties can't really account for the amount of money and how the businesses were able to generate this amount of money, then we're going to be able to investigate and basically be able to get to the root cause or the source of those particular funds and how everything was done. So it's very important to always have these serious audits as far as property is concerned, even as far as businesses is concerned. Because if you look at most of the businesses, right, if we deploy SEC investigators and we go to most shopping malls in Lusaka and we give these SEC investigators a task to sort of find on average how much a particular business earns per month, right? And then we can easily be able to say, okay, on average, since this particular shop that you're running or this particular business that you're running is only able to generate $10,000 per month, right? How come you are able to earn or rather create or buy these properties? Okay, so that's a process that we can get to use to get to the root cause of money that was obviously obtained in dubious methods as well. So a lot of you might be saying, hey Mona, when you start talking about money laundering, do you think you're just being unfair to people who, really obtained a lot of money? Because in Zambia, no, the thing is, we do not have any problems with regards to people amassing a lot of wealth. We do not have any problem with that. But if you do it at the cost of harassing people, and taking advantage of the poor, then we have a problem. Like if you take a look at the way President Hakainde Hichilema amassed his wealth, right? He did it in a legit and clean way. That we applaud, that we salute, that we are very proud of. Okay, but if you do it in a way where you have cadres getting to torture people, if you don't pay this amount of money, you're not going to be able to set up your business here, and basically you are sitting on people's rights and you are stepping on people's toe, then we have a problem. Okay, so it's not really about victimizing wealthy people. It's just that wealthy people need to sort of show us, or rather be able to prove how they were able to amass a lot of wealth. If you're running a clean business, you're going to be able to pinpoint saying, look, this was my income on this particular day, this particular month, we were able to generate this and that amount of money, this is my return on investment, this is my profit and losses, and everything is going to be legit and clean, and nobody's going to raise any eyebrows. But if you start stealing from the people, right, when we have a lot of youths who need to have jobs, we also have a lot of hospitals that don't really have a lot of money and medicine and all that stuff, then you are beginning to sort of step on other people's toes. So when you are going into leadership roles or governance roles as a politician, this is a very great lesson for a lot of different politicians, because when you go into political roles, right, you have to do the right things, and you have to make sure that you do not overstep or rather, do things that you're not supposed to be doing, and you're supposed to make sure that you serve the people. If you are trying to look for ways of obtaining a lot of money, right, then you have to go into the entrepreneurship journey or the business world instead of going into politics, because at this particular moment a lot of people in Zambia know that, okay, if I start doing politics, I'm going to be able to like get these and those, contracts, deals. I'm going to be able to like, bulldoze my way with regards to getting tenders and all that stuff. So in Zambia, people have got the mentality that if you want to get very rich, you need to go into politics. And this is a very wrong mentality, because by the end of it all, politics is a very bad way to start making money. Because what's usually going to happen is, let's say for example, your political party gets to lose, right? Everything stops. You get shut down. I'm telling you, by now, a lot of patriotic front staunch members are going to lose a lot of business. In the next 5 to about 10 years, most of them are going to be entirely broke. And you guys are going to be like, this spending on 2 million to sort of, do their shopping. But what happened to him? It's because they sort of amassed their wealth by stepping on other people's toes and taking, or rather having, an unfair advantage. So this is one of the reasons why I usually encourage my fellow youth, saying, look, if you want to really become legitimately wealthy, use business, go into business, become an entrepreneur, solve a lot of problems, instead of you using your political prowess as a way to overstep your boundaries. And it's really going to be hard for them to start generating the amount of money that they were able to get way back in the day. So this is one of the reasons why, if you look at people who usually obtain their money illegally or in an unfair way, or having a basic advantage, right? Once the source is cut, right? Once these people don't even know like how to basically, maintain their money. They've got like a whole lot of expenses because, they basically didn't really earn that amount of money. So this is one of the reasons why you find in the next, 5 to about 10 years, these guys are going to be completely broke. So anyway, moving on to the other steps that are needed, right, with regards to money laundering. The most important thing is you need to get the dirty money into the banking system, because if you are holding a lot of cash, right, it's really going to be very impossible and impractical for you to like do anything. Let's say for example, you want to travel to another country, you're not going to be able to like use this amount of money, right? So you need to use the banking system, okay? And just like I told you, right, these particular different slave queens were able to like legitimately show that they are sort of earning the money, and you use different fronts, okay? Then the other thing is, I think we already talked about this, right, with regards to like using shell companies, using countries that don't really have strict laws when it comes to money laundering. And the last thing that we need to take a look at is obviously how the SEC and the FIC can recover the money. So basically, getting to do a lot of shopping mall audits, just like I told you, getting to especially find how property was obtained is going to be like a very fast way to like recover the money. And then also getting to like look at the transactions that are being sent to offshore or rather shell companies, and just basically be able to like find the paper trail with regards to that particular amount of money. So moral of the story is this is obviously leading up to a lot of questions and a lot of speculations. Back in the day, during the MMD era, we obviously witnessed Austin Liato, right? Austin Liato only had about 2 billion kwacha at that time. That particular amount rebased is about 2 million kwacha, okay? So if you look at the discrepancy between 2 million kwacha and 65 million kwacha, right? Obviously, there has been inflation here and there. It is a huge difference. And what a lot of people are saying is, look, if that was just one particular individual being involved with this amount of money, right? What about other people? Can you imagine what has been happening in other provinces as well? Talk about Lusaka, talk about Copperbelt, talk about Muchinga province and all that stuff. So how much money was Zambia able to lose? And just like I told you, right? We do not have any problem with rich people. We do not have problems with people who are becoming wealthy in Zambia. But the most important thing is, please, not kunyantirira abantu. Because if you look at the history of the PF, right, a lot of Zambians were sort of, harassed, a lot of people were beaten. Remember that UPND lady who was selling per market, right? She was absolutely brutalized. A lot of women have been raped by these cadres because these cadres had a whole lot of power. And just like I told you, right, this is one of the reasons why during PF we obviously saw mini militias like this.
Ona masoja wa bosi kumbuyo mwababwelera ona masoja
So if you take a look at this, right, these people were allowed to operate because they were adding value to the cadre cartel and to the money laundering sort of value chain. So this is one of the most blatant reasons why we even heard President Lungu saying Amakadas are part of PS, they are part of PF, and we can't do anything without them, and we're not going to basically abolish anything, because they knew that these people were going in the ghettos, they were going out in society, and they were able to collect money from the people. And when this money is collected from the people, it obviously goes along this chain. It reaches this particular Yoko, this particular person takes it to the higher person, and then the other person takes it to the boss. And by the end of it all, the people who were benefiting for the most part were the top leaders, because they were able to benefit from all the money that was being collected by these particular people, such as Innocent Kalimashi. So I really hope that you understood this particular breakdown. I'm seeing a few comments here, and people are saying people were dying in hospitals. This was just evil. Then people are also talking about auditing accounts concerning the previous president. So yeah, I do see what you are talking about. And this is just sad development. And just like I told you, we do not have any problem with anybody becoming wealthy, but please just do it the right and the legit way, because if you're doing it illegally, you are going to be stepping on other people. A lot of people died because they couldn't be treated because of cancer, because different hospitals didn't have this or that equipment. There wasn't any medicine to like heal these people. So make sure that on your quest to become wealthy, do not step on other people and do your businesses legitimately. So yeah, I think that's all I had for you. I really hope you enjoyed it. And just like I told you, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. So this particular episode wasn't about Faith Musonda, but Faith Musonda did open Pandora's box, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. So I'm just using this as some sort of a segue to talk about what money laundering is all about and the process that is involved. So to all my fellow youths, I know a lot of you might be saying, look, I've graduated with a degree, I've got a PhD, and I've got like a doctorate, whatever, certificate, but I'm not really seeing any wealth. So just take your time. Everybody has got a different path, okay? But if you rush and you start getting into these dubious means of becoming wealthy, your lifespan of being rich is going to be very, very short. Okay, it's better for you to do it slowly but diligently and surely, so that by the end of it, all right, you're able to like defend yourself, saying, look, I own this amount of money because it came from this and that amount of business. But in vidima, right, you're going to be finding yourselves in problems. And this time around, right, the people of Zambia know what is happening. And this is one of the biggest problems that the Patriotic Front were able to make. A lot of them were thinking Zambians are naive. Look, we're living in a digital era. It's very easy to find this information. It's very easy to get access to this amount of information. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of the staunch Patriotic Front members are very shocked, because they kind of lost the elections. It's because they really became so high and they became so pompous. They didn't even basically listen to the people, and the people were secretly, scheming and galvanizing moves to sort of get rid of them. So it is very important to know that you have a population that is very smart, that can easily find this information and be able to like see what's happening. People are able to like read in between the dotted lines. We knew that money laundering was happening. We knew that money at Lusaka City Council wasn't being remitted to the Lusaka City Council, was going to the, the designated influential people. We knew all about that, but at that particular moment, right, we couldn't do anything about it because kuntanshi, that's what the culture was all about. So at this particular moment, we really need to hold even the current government, okay? We shouldn't give any loopholes with regards to getting to step over people's rights, okay? And this is also one of the reasons why we need to have laws that really allow people who are going into public servitude to get to disclose their assets. And we obviously witnessed people from the UPND, such as Honorable Jack Mwimbu. He was able to say, look, I've already built this particular mansion, I own and this and that amount of money. Like that, it is very, very good because it gives us, an estimate of how these people are in terms of their net worth. Because by the end of it all, right, the most important thing that we do not want, especially as the Zambian youth at this particular moment, right, we need to really keep these people on their toes. The thing is, we do not really care about how you get your money, but just do it legitimately. Do not become wealthy at the expense of poor people. And these poor people are going to be dying because the hospitals do not have any money, and a lot of people are not really going to be educated. And basically, our population is forever going to be poor. This is the only thing that we do not want. Make your money, but do it the legit way, and nobody's going to be able to like point fingers. So I think that's it. Unless you've got any other contributions, unless you are, So Han says, why are you even giving her a platform to speak? Please, let's do away with corruption. Chibuye says, Ndiwe Mfuiti, how do you talk about your relative like that? It's clear you have always been jealous of that relative. Blood is thicker than water. You can talk about your brother. Okay, so I don't know what you what you meant. Yeah, I think that's it. That's how the cookie crumbles, and that's all I had for you with regards to money laundering and how you can get to know that, okay, this particular business is a front, this particular business, there's other things involved. And just like I told you, right, businesses like mineral mining, emeralds, gold, whatever, diamonds, you're easily able to like clean money. You can use dirty money and clean it up very, very much. So whenever you hear that, Shimpia, because I sold the Kuma auction, you could just know that there's like a little bit of funny stuff going through. So yeah, do not get greedy, and make sure you do the right things and do business the legit way without stepping on other people's toes as well. So just to reiterate, right, this wasn't about Faith Musonda. This was basically getting to understand what money laundering is all about and how you can get to recognize it. So yeah, that's it. I hope you understand what role the slay queens were playing, and why a lot of probably young girls were having businesses and they were able to like build a lot of different properties by running some sort of fake businesses, and why a lot of shops in shopping malls were charging like a lot of exaggerated fees. Because I remember a lot of ordinary Zambians who were doing legitimate business, a lot of them were saying, look, why are these shopping malls charging in dollars, and why are the rentals extremely expensive? It's because they really wanted to like get in the fronts, the people who were acting as a money laundering front, to get to pay, because they had a lot of money. These people had like millions and millions. They were able to generate millions and millions of dollars, so they needed a way to get to like use fronts to clean their money and all that stuff. So everything is interconnected. If you look at the violence, if you look at the disrespect, especially to people who are using bus stations, because I remember you couldn't even go to the bus station without having Cadres harass you, and that was very despicable, man. Whereby going to the station, if you're not careful, people are like, there was just like a lot of lawlessness, and all this was obviously being supported by leadership because the leadership wasn't able to like, do the proper things to sort of get rid of these, bad vices. So it's very important, and I'm very happy that the youths at this particular moment are very vigilant. So you always have to hold leaders accountable. So this is one of the reasons why I'm really proud that we have people like Elias Munsha, people like Vakwet, who are always going to say, look, apana filuva anapa, regardless of who's leading, okay, because protecting Ichipani, we're just going to end up destroying our country, and we only have one country, and can you imagine if the Patriotic Front was able to sort of continue ruling, what could have happened to Zambia? By the end of it all, look, we need to be, you need to be content with what you have. Of course, it's very good to like always want more, but be content with what you have and work legitimately to get more. But if you start, overstepping on other people's boundaries, everybody's going to lose, because it doesn't really make any sense becoming very wealthy and the rest of the population is like wallowing in poverty. Like it doesn't really make any sense. At least everybody should be eating. And if you look at countries such as the United Arab Emirates, right, the population is well taken care of. Like everybody eats in the United Arab Emirates. All the citizens basically get to benefit like that. Everybody collectively does better. This is what we want. This is what we're trying to advocate for. Okay, so we do not have any problems with people doing businesses, but please do not really do it at the expense of the youths, at the expense of the citizens, and just do the right thing. That's it. Although impia tashfuda kusina what that is 6 million, but my expenses yove na food and because you've got like this lavish lifestyle, you need to like keep up appearances and all that stuff, and then by the end of it all, you even start like getting in more and more trouble. So just be content with what you are. Just take it slowly, take it easily, and especially by youth Vanandi, because a lot of us have got like a lot of pressure. because I remember somebody who's I'm not really going to mention any names that were saying, look, I don't know if they could have mentioned, I don't know if they stay, so what are you doing? But if you look at these people who were able to like really create a lot of money like very fast, they were basically doing some shady stuff. And I know a lot of you have got the capabilities of also indulging in such activities. You can easily do this, but your conscience tells you saying, look, let me just do it the legitimate way and the right way, and then eventually I'm going to get there. So as a youth Vanandi, I'm just telling you, look, take it easy. Just build easily, one step at a time, one stone at a time, and eventually you're going to get there. Eventually God is going to bless you. Do not ever step on other people's toes, because you're just going to attract bad karma. So no matter how slow the hustle is going for you, so provided you're doing the right thing and you're using the right methods, God is going to eventually bless you. So yeah, do not rush. And I think so remember what I told you, this episode was sponsored by auto.zcorner.com. In case you want to buy a car or sell a car, go to the website auto.zcorner.com. This is basically where you can get to list different cars, and you can also get to buy different cars as well. So if you are a car salesperson, right, if you sell cars, please get in touch with me. My email is right at the bottom, muna@zcorner.com. And then another reminder for a lot of people who've got a lot of money at this particular moment, because I know I've been getting quite tempted, but you don't really know where to take it. You can also have consultations with me, because we also do wealth management. So if there are people out there who've got a lot of money, you can always have some consultations with us, because we have legit ways of getting to keep your money and getting to sort of multiply your money in a legit way, because we do wealth management as well. So yeah, instead of ukulashi kempia panshi, just have a consultation with us and we're going to be able to like sort you out. So that's all I had for you, and I'm definitely finally going. So have a blessed weekend. Make sure you go today's a Sunday, yeah, so tomorrow make sure you go hustle and do what you have to do. So it's been Mnalula from Z Corner as the leading voice of Zambian youths. Every I feel kusosa to Alanda, and I feel better. I feel therapeutic. Because talking is therapeutic for me. Like the more I let these things out, the more I have these mini crash courses, the better I feel. So now you understand how money laundering works. Okay, so if you want to get into it, you can really make a lot of money, and you can also get into a lot of trouble. So be very careful, especially if you've got business partners, because your business partners might be trying to cleanse, or rather cleanse, dirty money using your business. Okay, so be very careful, because dealing with these things, you might be able to get into trouble. So yeah, talk to you a little bit later. God bless you. Bye.